This video is sponsored by Level 8 Luggage. Get 10% off using code Nonstop10. Tonight we're taking one of the UK's last remaining sleeper train trips on a 900km overnight journey from London to the Scottish Highlands. There's comfortable private rooms, wonderful food, a bit of whisky and some epic snowy views, so let's go and check it out together. Welcome back to London, the UK's multicultural capital city, which is home to over 8 million people. Tonight we'll be travelling on the Caledonian Sleeper's Highlander service to Fort William. When we wake up tomorrow morning, we'll be about as far away as possible from this bustling metropolis without crossing an international border. If you don't speak English, please turn on the closed caption subtitles below, which are translated into 140 languages. You can also now change the audio track to 8 other languages, including Spanish, Italian, French, German, Japanese and Hindi. Our journey starts at London Euston, which is comprehensively served by 5 of the London Underground's lines across 2 stations. Euston is the gateway to the northwest of England and Scotland via the West Coast Main Line. There are bus and taxi stands located out the front of the station, along with this courtyard which has departure boards, picnic benches and some shops. On entry to the main concourse, you'll find the ticket office right in front of you. There are lots of automatic ticket machines here on the left and staff ticket counters on the right. Next to this is the help desk and lounge for people who require travel assistance. It's also great to see the large electronic boards have been put back to their intended use, showing departures and not advertisements. There are more shops and food outlets on the ground floor, along with restaurants on this mezzanine level overlooking the concourse. The Caledonian Sleeper services depart from platform 1, and this is also where the lounge is located. This is open daily from 6 PM. Access is available for double and club room guests only. If you need a new case for your travels in 2025, get a great deal with Level 8. In the past few months I've been trying out the Roadrunner 20-inch carry-on and it has really won my heart. It features ultra-quiet 360-degree durable spinner wheels for effortless movement and a quick access, lockable front laptop and tablet pocket. Its large 38-litre capacity and multitude of storage pockets is ideal for compartmentalising your packing. There is also a lifetime warranty for absolute peace of mind on endless adventures. Level 8 are offering my viewers a special discount of 10% off every order using code Nonstop10. Just click the link above now or in the description below. As far as Edinburgh, we'll be hauled by this Class 92 electric locomotive tonight. These have a top speed of 140 km per hour and a power output of 5,040 kilowatts. On departure from Euston, this Highlander service is comprised of sections for Aberdeen, Inverness and Fort William, where I'm travelling to tonight. Trailing is a mix of sleeper, seated and dining coaches, with tonight's consist comprising 14 coaches in total. In high season there can be as many as 16 coaches depending on demand. Here is the guest lounge adjacent to platform 1. As mentioned, only double and club room guests are allowed access in here. My classic room wouldn't normally grant me access, but I asked nicely and was allowed in so I can show you the facilities. I was travelling with Paul Lucas on this trip, and we had a nice surprise when Mark, the man in seat 61, showed up too.
Is that a double?
Are you guys back?
No.
Hi, how are you?
The lounge is large with plenty of comfy seating, working areas and tables for eating at. There are complimentary non-alcoholic drinks and snacks, along with an additional paid menu. I'll put a link to this in the description below. Before we head out to board, let's check out tonight's route from London Euston to Fort William. The Highlanders services 3 train portions split at Edinburgh Waverley around 5 AM.
You can just stand in front of
Boarding starts around 8:30 PM and your room's keycard can be issued on entry to the lounge or at this little desk next to the train.
You got your ticket there, I'll just pop it in.
The coaches are identified by letters and the destination is clearly marked on the outside of each one. Boarding is not level, however ramps are available, just speak to station or train staff if you require assistance. Upon entry we are met with a large accessible toilet and one of the famous double rooms, this being an accessible one. We'll have a look at all the room types later on in the journey. My room for tonight is G2, the next one along this quite narrow corridor, one of the classic 2-berth compartments. Access is granted by a quick swipe of the keycard. My first impressions are excellent, it looks very clean and super stylish. I'll do a full room tour soon. First though, I'm going to head to the dining car for some dinner and a few drinks. Before I leave my room, I need to fill in my breakfast card. This is complimentary for double and club room guests and at an extra charge for those in classic rooms. Just hang it on the door within 30 minutes of departure. Double and club room guests can have it served in the dining car or to their rooms, whereas classic room guests have to have room service. But if you ask nicely and there's space, you could also eat in the dining car. Speaking of the dining or club cars, there are 2 on the Highlander service from Euston, one for Inverness bound passengers and the other for Aberdeen and Fort William bound passengers. There is a mix of bays with 2, 3 or 4 seats, along with a wheelchair space and single seating with bar stools along the window. Those who are travelling in any of the seated coaches aren't, in theory, allowed to use them, but again, you can always ask and if it's quiet you will be allowed in. Either way, you can still order from the same menu and take the food and drinks back to your seat. Sleeper passengers can do the same as room service is offered. The menu has a few full meals, hot and cold snacks and a large selection of drinks including hot, cold and alcoholic ones. I'll put a link to it in the description below. We depart on time at 9:15 PM. Tonight's trip is 919 kilometres in distance and is scheduled to take 12 hours and 45 minutes of travel time, arriving at 10 AM tomorrow morning. I bought my classic room with solo occupancy in Caledonian Sleeper's November sale. This cost £129, which I believe is excellent value. Regular prices for the classic rooms start from £140, from £205 for the club ensuite rooms, and from £395 for the double rooms. There is one accessible classic room and one accessible double room per train portion. These are priced the same as their similar type of standard room. These are all single occupancy prices with a surcharge applied for the second passenger. Railcard discounts are only available for solo occupancy and not at all on double rooms. One ticket in the seated coach starts from £40, a great value if uncomfortable way to make this 13-hour journey. All fares are dynamic, with the peak time and high season pricing being vastly higher. Check out their website sleeper.scot for current pricing. Our food arrives just as we're passing Watford. I went for the mac and cheese. Paul went for the haggis, neeps and tatties, and I had one of the Black Isle blonde lagers. We both had the sticky toffee pudding for dessert. It would be rude not to finish off with a whisky. I had the Glengoyne single malt with a Tunnocks caramel wafer. The onboard food and drinks, while not exactly cheap, are mostly delicious and of very good quality. We are the last ones standing, so we call it a night. On the way back to my room, let's check out the toilets. There is at least one in every coach. Here is a standard one. They are quite spacious and everything was clean, fully working and stocked up. Great job. There is also an accessible toilet next to every accessible room. Okay, time for a tour of my classic room. The door can be locked from the inside using this deadbolt. Both the main and night lights and heating can be controlled by this panel. Luggage can be stored underneath the bottom bunk. Each passenger is provided with a bottle of drinking water and a sleep kit. The room service and breakfast menus are also on the bed. The sleep kit provides an eye mask, earplugs and a bar of soap. The mattresses are quite thick and very soft, as are the duvets and pillows. There is a ladder to access the top bunk, and the amenities are duplicated from everything down below. There is also this panel with two UK style 3-pin plugs, two USB-A ports and a cool button and window light switch. Device holders are also provided. The window has a blackout blind and above you'll find the PA speaker and emergency button. This unit has a rail with a hand towel, litter bin and a pull-out table, along with a sink with running water on top. A large mirror can be found off to the side here, along with coat hooks on the wall. Many of the rooms have interconnecting doors, so you can open them up if travelling in a family or group. Anyway, it's long past my bedtime, so I'm going to snuggle up and get some sleep now. Good night. I slept for around 7 hours and only got woken up once while they were dividing the train in Edinburgh around 5 AM. The beds were very comfy and plenty long enough for me at 6'1", but I did find them a little narrow. I asked and was allowed to have my breakfast in the club car with Paul. Remember, this is not guaranteed if it's busy. He had the full Scottish with an orange juice, and I had the continental, which consisted of a fruit salad, croissant and a cereal yoghurt combo. We both had a coffee. They were very delicious. Paul's breakfast was included in his clubroom fare, whereas mine should have cost £10. Thank you to Caledonian Sleeper, who didn't charge me for this despite me offering to pay. It's just before 8 AM now on the predominantly single track West Highland line. We are currently rounding the famous Horseshoe Curve. Sunrise isn't until 9 AM at this time of year in the Scottish Highlands, with only around 6.5 hours of total daylight per day. The train window views are going to get really good soon though. If you want ad-free early access to every video, great perks and to help me do bigger and better reviews, then become a channel member from just £1.99 per month. Just click the link above now or the join button in every video. Thank you! We are now crossing Rannoch Moor, 130 square kilometres of boggy moorland. When built in the 1890s, this line had to be floated on a bed of tree roots, wood and earth on top of the bog. This is one of the most remote sections of railway on the UK network and is very famous for its wildlife. Rannoch Station lies on the edge of the Moor and opened in 1894. Today it sees around 7,000 passengers per year, mainly hikers and outdoor adventurers. Trains pass each other on the station's loop to the right hand side, the opposite of the UK's normal convention. This was originally introduced to simplify shunting and has just stuck, I guess. Let me tear myself away from the window for a moment and let's go and check out the other accommodations available on all Caledonian Sleeper services. This is a club room. It's exactly the same size and layout as my classic room, but it has the addition of an ensuite with a shower and toilet. This is a double room. It has the same ensuite as we just saw. And then there is one accessible version of both the classic and double rooms on each train portion. Then finally, the seated coach also has an accessible toilet and wheelchair space, and seating in a 2+1 configuration. These are reasonably comfy, have good legroom and offer recline. There are tray tables, power sockets and reading lights available. Smaller valuable items can be secured in these overhead lockers, while larger items of luggage can be stored on these stacks in the corridor. Next, we pass Nonstop through Corrour, the highest station on the UK rail network at 410 metres above sea level. There is a restaurant in the station house and a guest house in the signal box. The reason we didn't stop today is both of these are currently closed and the station has no road access, the nearest being 16 kilometres away by farm track. Scotland has more than 30,000 freshwater lochs in total. The famous Loch Ness, near Inverness, holds more water than all the other lakes in England and Wales combined. We run adjacent to Loch Treig on the approach to Tulloch. This is a small hamlet of just 5 or 6 houses. Amazing to think it sees a few direct trains every day to Glasgow, and even this daily service to London. I'm pretty sure more deer live here than actual people. They don't call this train the Deerstalker for no reason. We saw hundreds along this part of the route. The snow has started to fall again as we pull into our final intermediate stop, Speen Bridge. It's at this point the crew announce we will be arriving around 15 minutes early to Fort William. That was my cue to finish my coffee, leave the club car and head back to my room to pack my bag. From Fort William you can connect on the train to Mallaig, further up the West Highland line. On this section you'll find the spectacular Glenfinnan Viaduct, made famous by the Harry Potter films. This is certainly a worthwhile excursion, and between April and October you can even ride the Jacobite steam train on the route. Fantastic! In the end, we arrive at Fort William 15 minutes early. I've heard many horror stories of this train arriving 2, 3, even 4 hours late, so great job today. Let me give you my summary of this overnight trip up from London Euston to Fort William in a classic room on the Caledonian Sleeper Highlander service. I had an amazing trip. The train was super comfortable and very clean. The bed was amazing, even if it was a little too narrow, but maybe that's just me. The food and drinks in the club car were also excellent. They were a little pricey, but I'm happy to indulge once in a while. And the staff, wow, I don't think I've ever had a better crew on a UK train ever, so a massive thanks to them. I feel I got great value with my classic room in the sale, but be aware the prices can be much higher. Always book ahead as early as possible. All in all, a fantastic snowy trip along one of the UK's most scenic railways. I'd highly recommend this service to you, whether you're travelling to Aberdeen, Inverness or Fort William as I did. Have you been on the Caledonian Sleeper before? If so, which route and in which room? How did you find it? Let me know in the comments below. I'm always open to new video ideas, so if there's anything you'd really like to see on the channel, then drop me a DM on Instagram, Blue Sky or Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching to the end, and I'll see you in the next video.